On Wednesday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in Portugal to discuss efforts to counter destabilizing influence in the region. This comes amid high tensions with Iran in the region, as well as political tensions within Israel. Weighing in on this is a former mayor of Shiloh, Israel, and the author of Trump and the Jews, David Rubin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be with you, Stephanie.
Good to be with you. So what was discussed at the meeting first and foremost, of course, was the issue of Iran. Recently, European nations, including France, Germany, and Great Britain, have allowed Iran to continue selling oil through Instex, a barter system, otherwise overlooking the U.S.'s decision to place sanctions on Iran. What's your response to those European nations sidestepping sanctions?
Well, the European nations are being very nearsighted. They're looking at their immediate economic interests as opposed to their security interests. The reality is that Iran is looking to dominate Europe as much as they are looking to dominate the Middle East.
Let me ask you this. Prime Minister Netanyahu is currently in efforts to coordinate a mutual defense treaty with the U.S., as well as looking to annex the Jordan Valley. Recently, the Trump administration said settlements in the West Bank are not inconsistent, double negative there, with international law. So this prompted a response from Jordan. But on Wednesday, Netanyahu said the Trump administration's comments advanced the course of peace. How much of an effect will this have?
Well, the reality of the situation is that the United States, and it's very appropriate that you pointed out the double negative. Obviously, a double negative in this case means that the United States is saying that the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria, otherwise known as the West Bank, are legal. That's basically what he's saying. So if they're legal, then that means that all of the disputes that were carried out with the Obama administration, where there was heavy pressure from Obama and previously from Clinton, and even President Bush, those disputes over Jewish communities are all nonsense. It's not something the United States shouldn't have been protesting Israel returning to its historic homeland. So as far as the Jordan and other countries protesting, they're just doing what they're expected to do. They have a lot of internal issues, and King Abdullah of Jordan particularly, and he needs to come out with public statements against that American move. But the fact is that they're not going to do anything really, and other Arab countries that have complained also aren't going to do anything really about that.
All of this is Israel's elections. There have been two this year, which have placed Israel in a state of political disarray amid the indictment of Prime Minister Netanyahu on alleged corruption. Now Israel is looking at a third election in a one-year period. If a government is not formed by the deadline, what kind of consequences can this election potentially have?
Well, first of all, it looks like there will be a third election. It's virtually certain at this point. And there is no majority coalition being formed. There are disputes between the various parties. And if there is a third election, chances are very likely that there's going to be another deadlock, which is not good for Israel. Israel needs stability right now. We're surrounded by countries and terrorist organizations that have 150,000 missiles pointed at Israel's cities right now, and we badly need stability. It'll be very interesting to see what happens, but there are several possibilities that could lead to that stability before the next elections. One of those possibilities could be the Likud primaries, which could possibly replace Netanyahu at some point. And the other possibility would be a possible pardon for Netanyahu for the corruption charges that he's being indicted for. There are a lot of interesting scenarios that could play out in the coming days.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much again, David Rubin, the former mayor of Shiloh, Israel, and the author of Trump and the Jews. Thanks again.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.